could see, I heard this voice. And
Alright, we are live.
I said, what does that mean?
What's up, everybody?
Go on a journey.
Micro here doing a live
And if
stream.
we think about every superhero movie, if we think about the superheroes that are not even deemed as superheroes, but they are like Frodo in Lord of the Rings, or Katniss Everdeen in Hunger Games, or Harry Potter.
A live stream.
These are all superheroes. They all gotta go on a journey, just like Spider-Man.
You want to join Quantopia? Hit me up.
He had to go save people.
It's a secret
And then
number.
he had to come back
You never
to
find
his
it
village.
online. You can
All
only find it
superheroes.
from
There's a
another
book
Quantopia.
and documentary done by a man by the name of Joseph Campbell. It's called Heroes of a Thousand Faces. And he demonstrates how Luke Skywalker is the same exact story as Harry Potter, which is the same exact story as Katniss Everdeen, which is the same exact story as blah, blah, blah. All superheroes have the same structure. They're all called on a journey. And I was told to go on a journey. That journey was to become an athlete. And I knew that I had to create a character that was going to save me from who I was. Who I was, CEO Charlie, made me very successful, but I was on a path to an early death. So if there's CEO Charlie in my left hand, who's he going to have a conversation with on a daily basis? And I created this character named Charlie Rocket. And Charlie Rocket had to sit in the driver's seat and tell CEO Charlie, hey, listen, sit down over there. I'm in control now. And I said, I'm going to be an athlete. Charlie Rocket is taking over. He's not a businessman, so he walked away from his business. He said, okay, $15 million a year business? That's not going to do any good with saving our life, so let's get rid of it. Charlie Rocket said, I need to be around my tribe. Well, where's the healthiest place on earth? I identified a city called Santa Monica, California. That's where the healthiest people are. That's where I need to go. That's this journey of being an athlete. And Charlie Rocket would have to tell CEO Charlie all the time, listen, I need you to sit down over there. This is my show now.
All right, everybody give it up one time for CEO Charlie. Yeah. That's great. All right. But now we have coming to the stage, the one, the only, Charlie Rocket.
There's something that you are right now. I need you to picture that in your head. Give that person a name. I mean, you might be working at a job. You might be, a basketball player. You might be a businessman, or you might be, a fast slob. Give it a name. That's who you are. That's what got you here. And then I want you to create in your mind a superhero that's going to save you from the problems you have. For example, you might want to be a successful entrepreneur. Well, you can say your name is CEO Michael, or CEO Mitch,
or CEO Ashley.
When I was 8 years old, I called myself CEO Charlie, and as I got older, people started catching on to it. And now a lot of people in the music industry put CEO in front of their name. You got CEO Miami Mike, the Soulja Boy's manager, or CEO Slow, he owns Slow Bucks. There's a CEO Lee over at Street Execs. life, an identity that people can give themselves to fill in the blanks, and that CEO Lee, for example, takes over. He says,
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to live it. I'm going to tell every single person who I am that I'm a CEO.
just like I told everybody, I'm Charlie Rocket. I'm an athlete. And why did I call it a rocket? Well, when I was 300 pounds, a rocket starts off slow. And I knew I was going to start off slow. But that made me feel good to know that rockets are slow, because all rockets start off slow and end up fast. And I said, I know I'm going to end up fast. And I don't have to worry about where I'm at, because I know where I'm going. I'm Charlie Rocket. I know how it works. 62 miles to outer space. That first mile is the most difficult, and that last mile is the easiest. And when you hit outer space, no more gravity. And I think that's all of our goals. We want to get to a place in our lives where there's no more gravity holding us down, no more negativity, no more force, no more tiredness. We want to hit that place where we're going fast and flying and there's no friction. That is all of our goals. So if you want to be an athlete too, or if you want to get your health together, you might not think of yourself as an athlete. You might just want to lose 40 pounds. But you've got to create that athlete persona and able to get there. So for one reason and one reason only, you can have a conversation with yourself. Have a conversation with yourself. Over the past few months, I've started my podcast, I'm getting into speaking engagements, I'm doing all these things that are business. And I'm waking up in the morning, and I'm noticing that CEO Charlie is creeping back into my life. More business, more stress. I've gained 10 pounds. Through this process of all my old habits of being CEO Charlie, they're coming back. I'm trying to get the business off. I'm trying to make sure the bills are paid. I'm trying to do all these things that CEO Charlie has to do. Being an athlete doesn't get these things done. So CEO Charlie is waking up in the morning and boom, getting on the emails, getting on the Instagram, boom, doing the messages, the podcast, the phone calls, and the meetings. And that's all starting to trigger the food addiction again. It's triggering the stress, which leads to food. It's triggering the deal making, which leads to food. CEO Charlie got back in the driver's seat and said, I'm driving this ship. And all the old habits are coming back. And the other day, I had a friend come over to my house and he reminded me of something. He's an upcoming rapper named Young Star Walker. And I was giving him some advice. I said, man, you gotta start pressing that upload button. Like the person who presses the upload button the most in 2020 is gonna win. I gave this same advice to a friend of mine a year ago. He's an artist from Houston. His name is Toby Niwe. And he has absolutely dominated 2018 on the underground circuit. He went from like 5,000 followers on Instagram to like 350. He's now got a sold out tour. I mean, he's everywhere. He's on the BET Cypher. And I told him one thing. I said, you got to stop being so smart. You got to press the upload button more. And I'm prescribing this to Young Star Walker.
superhero that's gonna save you from you. You are smart, you are artistic, you are a perfectionist, you understand the artwork, you understand how to mix and master, you know all these things, and those are the same reasons why you're not going to be successful. Because it takes you 6 months to get a song out because you're perfecting or waiting for the right time or doing the artwork for 4 weeks, and then you're mixing and mastering, and then you go in and redo the verse. I said, your superhero has to be the opposite of who you are if you want to be successful in music. You need to be ignorant if you're going to make it. And ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is just having fun and doing what you want to do. You should record a song and upload it an hour later, not thinking twice, not worrying about the artwork, not worrying about what's perfect, but just, oh, this song is dope. I need to get it out to the people. So he came up with a name for his alter ego. His alter ego is called OG Young Lil Hitter. And I can't say the word, but it's a word that rhymes with hitter, but it starts with an N, but that's his alter ego. OG Young Lil Hitter. And OG Young Lil Hitter is the guy who's going to take control of the car and say, hey bro, you sit over there, I'm driving now. I'm about to be eating donuts, I'm about to be having fun, and I'm steering this ship now. And when I need your information, young Skywalker, excuse me, when I need your information, I'm gonna ask you. But I'm driving this car now, I'm driving this ship.
I've got my Four Sigmatic coffee right here, getting my energy and my vibrations right. I hope y'all can feel my good vibrations as you're sitting there in your car, in the gym, and you're listening. I want to share with you my energy when I feel good. On days that I'm not releasing podcasts, I'm either busy or I don't feel good because there's things that go wrong. And that's what this episode is all about. Now, for anybody listening right now, I want you to raise your hand if you have a brain tumor. I'm raising my hand. I have a brain tumor. They say I'm going to have this brain tumor the rest of my life. This brain tumor, threatened my life, was, wrapped around, my left optic nerve, started corroding the top of my spinal cord, applying pressure on the artery that goes into the brain. I remember when I was first diagnosed with it, I would have migraine headaches every single day. If I walked up a flight of stairs, my head would be pounding. I went to a doctor for 2 years, and they thought I just had migraines. And one day, the migraines were so out of control, I would go home, and I would have to get underneath the bed and put the pillows around the bed so there's no light, no sound. Everybody would need to be quiet in the house, and I would deal with this every single day of my life. I was 305 pounds. I was so big that I would be fearful of the simplest things, like going out or taking a picture, or fearful of the mirror, or fearful of putting on my clothes. Those are terrible things to be afraid of. I had a fear of food. I had a fear of the weekend. Fridays and Saturdays were terrible. Dealt with depression. Dealt with binge eating disorders. I would eat 10,000, 20,000 calories in a day. And then I would starve myself. At one time, I starved myself down 100 pounds. Then gained it all back with binge eating, sugar addiction. I would do this in the darkness. I remember a friend of mine, my best friend Tasia, she lived with me at my house, and she knew that I was on a diet, but she also saw that I kept gaining weight. And what she would do is she would be one of those people who want to eat all their food. So she would go out to these restaurants and get a whole bunch of mac and cheese and ribs and things like that, and she would have it in a to-go box. And she would not eat all the food, maybe left a third of it, and she would throw it in the trash can, the actual to-go box in the trash can. And when you deal with addiction, you do crazy things that, it's quite embarrassing. But I would know she threw that food away. And in the middle of the night, I would sneak down the steps, go into the kitchen, open the trash can, and it would be like this, like, demonic side of me, like this sneaky, like, evil addiction side of me. I don't know what would take over me, but, like, I'm digging through the trash can to find the to-go box, making sure, okay, the to-go box wasn't opened, so this food didn't touch any of the other trash, and there's nothing on top of it, so let me just eat it. It's almost like she left it in the refrigerator. Like, I would tell myself these lies, these sneaky lies, and I'd be there and I'd be eating it as fast as I could, hoping, she wouldn't hear me downstairs. And, then I would do these things, like, go to the extent of, instead of throwing the trash back in the trash can, I would then take it outside and put it in the trash can outside so that she wouldn't see that I snuck. Same thing when I would binge eat at gas stations. I would get 10, 20 different pastries or donuts or ice cream sandwiches, and I would have all this like litter, and I would go home and I would bury the trash underneath all the trash just so nobody would see that I'm cheating on my diet. I mean, it's just these things that would take over these negative thoughts. I mean, there's times in my life, like I've just dealt with so much, like, and I look at them all as gifts. But like when I got fired, from working with Soulja Boy, I dropped out of college. I was going to be a cameraman for Soulja Boy, so I'm on tour, and then he fires me, and I have to go right back to my mom's basement and tell her, like, yeah, I got fired, like, I don't have my job anymore, and I have to figure out my life. And then, boom, I signed a girl group. I decided I was going to be a manager, signed a girl group, boom, got fired again. Like, how did I get through these situations? How did I get through the brain tumor? How did I get through the 305 pounds? I mean, there were so many things in business that we dealt with that, I rarely talk about on the podcast. But like I had, times where, I had been shot at once before at my studio. I was breaking up a little altercation and bullets started flying at us. I had another time where, one of my artists got shot and killed at my studio. The city was trying to pass laws to shut us down. Like, this episode is a prescription that I want to give you guys of all the things I've learned to stay positive while everything around me seemed to be crashing down. And I take a lot of pride in my optimism because I've gotten to learn that we attract what we think. So our thoughts, our belief systems are so delicate.
Wow, that's crazy. So what do you do to stay positive? What steps do you take to stay so optimistic?
The first one is being a delusional optimist, okay? I want you to understand that I am delusional. For example, I'm always looking for the extreme bright side. Why is that? Because you get what you're looking for. You get what you're thinking about all day. To where I'm on the Titanic. This is how I become a delusional optimist. Say I'm on the Titanic and it's sinking, and there's a lifeboat right there. Okay, lifeboat, boom. I'm on the lifeboat. I'm saying to myself, well, I'm gonna be just as dry on the lifeboat as I am on the big ship that's sinking. So, this is great. Oh man, thank goodness. I'm being delusional. Yes, it's terrible. The ship is sinking, but as the ship is sinking, I'm looking for the wind. I did this when I got fired from Soulja Boy, and I went home to my mom. I said, Mom, okay, I'm fired. Yeah, I gotta come back to the basement. Boom, it didn't work out how I thought it would. But I said, this is great because I got to go out on tour and I got to see who's really making the money, and who's really making the money is the manager. So this is great that Soulja Boy fired me. He did me the greatest gift ever. He fired me. Now I'm about to get rich because if he didn't fire me, I would still be a cameraman. I'm a delusional optimist. This is great that I got fired. And then I signed a girl group, and that girl group, they fired me for Sierra's manager, but But I said, you know what? Like, okay, this is tough, but this is great because now I'm about to sign a male group who's from the streets of Atlanta, and this is going to be way better than the girl group because these guys are like the real streets of Atlanta. Named Travis Porter. Ended up having, many gold, platinum records, touring all over the world. So the girls did me the greatest favor ever. They fired me. That's super dope. I remember there was this guy who snaked them away from me. And, I'm like, man, I should thank that guy. He did me the greatest favor. At the time, I thought he was doing me a disservice, but then I immediately go into possibility mode. Like, oh, they fired me. That's God's way of saying, oh, he wants something better for me. So something bad happens to me, I'm thinking to myself like, oh, no, this is great. 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 Just imagine if you were in traffic in New York heading into your job on September 11th and you got in a car accident. Most of us would be, oh, this is terrible. But no, how you gotta look at it is, I wonder what God is saving me from. Like, this has gotta be for a reason. The goal is to be pronoid, not paranoid. Pronoid is the universe is conspiring for me. Paranoid is the universe is conspiring against me. So I try to be pronoid. I'm a delusional optimist. Oh, like I got in this car wreck maybe because, something bad was going to happen if I kept going. Well, there was somebody who was saved from being in a car accident and couldn't go into work to the World Trade Centers. We got to look for the pronoid. We got to look for the delusional optimist. We got to be living in this place of kind of being delusional about our thoughts. If we're getting too realistic about things and we say things are realistic, then we're going to think negative thoughts like, oh, like this is bad, oh, my life sucks. Well, guess what we're going to attract?
Wow, you're really right about that. So, what's this thing that I heard you mention called winning streak? You're on a winning streak?
So I do this thing called I'm on a winning streak. And this is where I get my momentum. It'll be the simplest things. If I'm looking for wins, I'm going to get them. Like, I get so happy when I'm high on coffee. Some people go and try to buy houses and cars and all this expensive Louis Vuitton to find happiness. And yet, I'm here happy for $1.50. I'm on a winning streak. I identify that as a winning streak, and I do that every single morning because I want to start my day off with a winning streak. And then I go to get in my car and I catch a green light. Oh, I'm on a winning streak. And then I catch the little parking spot like near the front. I'm like, oh, I'm on a winning streak. And then I go and have a workout and I'm like, wow, I didn't get injured. I'm on a winning streak. And then I'm walking across the parking lot and I realized, no car hit me as I was walking across the parking lot. I'm on a winning streak. Yes, delusionally optimistic about the winning streak. Because if we're looking for a winning streak, we're going to find it. If we're looking for things to go wrong, we're going to find it. Now, remember, the brain can only think about one thing at a time. Is it going to think about the negative things, or is it going to think about the positive things?
Wow, this is really good stuff. What else do you do to stay optimistic?
We do need to understand what's going on and let go of it and be present and tell ourselves right now in this moment everything's going to be fine. But I love living in the future. My favorite thing to say is it's already done. Time just hasn't caught up yet. So I'm always thinking about my dreams. I'm always thinking about the finish line. Like, I'm thinking about what it's like to do the 8 speaking engagements a month. What it's like to have the 1 million downloads on my podcast a month. I'm living at the finish line. I've identified what the finish line looks like, and I'm picturing it in my head, and that's what my thought process is. And that helps me forget about the reality of where I'm at today. Where I'm at today might not be ideal. So how do I make my thoughts not about the things that are not ideal, but about the possibilities in the future. So I'm always thinking about my dreams. I'm living at the finish line. I want that to be my thought process all day, because if I can live in the fact that I'm going to be a Nike athlete, I'm going to send out the energy. But if I'm living in the moment and thinking about things like, I'm not a Nike athlete yet, but, I might have a long ways to go. That's sending out negative thoughts. What I would do every single day when I would write in my notebook is Nike wants to. It happens over and over and over in my life. You know what my favorite word in the English dictionary is? Possibilities. To me, it's the most beautiful, magical word that I could think about all day long. I'm constantly thinking about the possibilities. Possibilities is like this big, open container that just says, you know what? All the possibilities, please just come and find me. When you say the word possibilities, your eyes kind of look up, kind of like you're dreaming, and you feel this little relaxing burst of energy, just possibilities. It's comforting. It's my favorite word, because if I'm thinking of the possibilities and I write my quantum possibilities, these are the biggest possibilities. I want my dream home in Malibu. I live in my dream home in Malibu already. I have 1 million downloads per month. These are possibilities. Somebody will discover my podcast today. These are the possibilities. I want you to add that word to your vocabulary and your belief system. I want you to believe that your quantum possibilities are already done when you write them down. I want you thinking about the possibilities all day. I want you to think about the magic that your dreams are possibilities for your life. It's not something that's impossible. Your dreams are something that is possible. Don't think in terms of reality. Don't be realistic about your dreams, because you're going to talk your way out of each and every one of them. Think in terms of the possibilities. It is possible. Believe bigger and dream crazy with every single one of your possibilities.
Little Beats.
If we're going into something difficult, like let's say for instance, I'm going to bike across America, and I were to go into it saying, ooh, this is going to be so hard, guess what? I'll attract hard, because my body won't even believe it's possible. Now, a lot of people, when we go into something, okay, I'm going to do the diet this time, or okay, I'm going to do the business this time, and I'm going to stay consistent. I know how hard it is, so I got to grind this time. I got to really grind this time. Well, that thought process was, okay, this is hard. I have to grind. Grind? That sounds like friction. That sounds like something that's hard, rubbing against each other, wearing it down. What about float? Would I rather grind my way across America, or I would rather float? A lot of us would choose the airplane over the being pulled behind a car strategy, but that's grinding versus floating. So if we go into something new in our life, diet, business, whatever it may be, how about we say it's easy? It's gonna be easy. That's what I did with my Ironman. I said, okay, here I have an Ironman training program. And it's so confusing, it looks super hard. hard. I mean, it's like, geez, like swim at this heart rate for this many laps, and then do this breaststroke, and then do this side stroke at this heart rate, and then boom, bike at this mountain at this pace, and then do this and then that. And I'm just like, this is too much. This looks hard. I want it to be easy. So I looked at the bottom of the training program and I said, okay, how many hours per week does an Ironman need to train? And it said between 8 and 14. I said, that's it? 2 hours a day? When I was 8 years old, biking around the neighborhood for a couple hours, that wasn't hard. Or, let's go to the pool and swim for a couple hours. That's not hard. Or let's run around the park for a couple hours. That's not hard. So doing an Ironman 2 hours a day, oh, that's easy. And I literally, through the whole Ironman process, I literally was delusionally optimistic about how easy it was going to be. When I did the Ironman, yeah, there were challenging parts. Of course there were. When I biked across America, of course there was challenging parts. But looking back at it, I'll say, oh, that was easy. Why? Because I did it. And anything anybody can do is easy. There was a point in our life when tying our shoes was hard. And then, once we did it, it became easy. Or doing multiplication at one point in our life was hard. But now we think it's easy. So anything we do, we would say it's easy. So why not just say it's easy at the very beginning? Because we know we're about to do it. So yes, it's easy. I'm at the finish line already. It's easy. I'm living at the finish line. I'm identifying how easy it's going to be because I know I'm going to do it. And anything I do, when you do it, it's then easy. Just like division. At one point it was hard. Then you figure out how to do it. Then it becomes easy. I told myself when I was going to be an athlete, oh, this is going to be easy. Came true. I said I'm going to be a Nike athlete. Oh, it's going to be easy. Came true. I said I was going to do an Ironman. It's easy. Everything I do, I say it's going to be easy. I said I would get an easy 100,000 on Instagram. Done. I said I want to have 100,000 downloads on my podcast. Done. Then I'm saying right now, getting 1 million downloads on my podcast, I know that's going to be easy. All I got to do is wake up and record a couple podcasts. Like I'm on a winning streak. People are sharing it every day. I'm on a winning streak. I'm looking for the wins. I'm telling myself it's going to be easy. I'm telling myself it's going to grow. I'm telling myself, and that's what I attract. If you ask for hard, you're going to get hard. If you ask for easy, you're going to get easy. Anything that has happened to me in my life that was negative always became a positive just once I got up. That's it. Can't let it keep you down. But that brain tumor was the biggest gift. It was the biggest gift I had. It taught me how to be happy.
Lido Beats.
I wake up every day and I'm like, I wonder who my Rosa Parks is gonna be. Rosa Parks, she was highly respected throughout the South. Rosa Parks, no, she wasn't some big public figure. Rosa Parks created a tipping point in the civil rights movement. Rosa Parks, but how was she the one who tipped everything? What do you mean, Charlie? Who your Rosa Parks is gonna be? Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks had this perfect storm. When they took her and arrested her, there was an uprising because so many of the different churches, all these different networks, all know Rosa Parks. That's how you get a small lady who can make a massive impact. Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks, she was highly respected throughout the South. Rosa Parks, no, she wasn't some big public figure. Rosa Parks created a tip Rosa Parks created a tipping point. We don't know who Rosa Parks are, but they're out there. There's somebody listening to this right now. Who's Rosa Parks? For me, it was that DJ. Like, it wasn't some big person. I mean, it was just somebody small, but who was in the right club at the right time and changed my life forever. Well, that small-time DJ, that was my Rosa Parks. My Rosa Parks created a tipping point. Rosa Parks, she was highly respected throughout the South. Rosa Parks, no, she wasn't some big public figure. Rosa Parks created a tipping point in the civil rights movement. Rosa Parks, but how was she the one who tipped everything? Rosa Parks.
Lido Beats.
I want you to know the possibilities are out there. The possibilities are out there. The possibilities are out there. I want that word to be introduced into your vocabulary daily. Possibilities. The possibilities that something crazy could happen at any moment, and life changes forever. I want you to add possibilities to your vocabulary. Possibilities. The possibilities are out there. The possibilities are out there. The possibilities are out there. I want that word to be introduced into your vocabulary daily. That's playing that song of possibilities. That's what we're gonna do. Let's get it. Let's have an amazing day today. Let's have an amazing week this week. Let's have an amazing month. Let's have an amazing year. Let's have an amazing life because possibilities. The possibilities are out there. The possibilities are out there. The possibilities are out there. Not anything is possible. Everything is possible.
Lido Beats.
When I was in my darkest place, and I was diagnosed with a brain tumor at 305 pounds, and I was just talking to nature, and I'm sitting there just talking to God, and it was feel like it's over, like the heyday is over. And there's something deep down inside where you're like, there's more than just this. This isn't how the movie ends. My story isn't over yet. 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 My story. My story. My story isn't over yet. My story. My story. My story isn't over yet.
Lido Beats.
I really, really believe in the law of attraction. And I would write down in my notebook. And I would do it over and over and over every single day. I would wake up, I would wake up, I would wake up, I would wake up. And I would do it over and over and over every single day. I would wake up, I would wake up, I would wake up, I would wake up. And I would do it over and over and over, over and over and over, over and over and over. Believe in it so much. Over and over and over, over and over and over, over and over and over. Believe in it so much. I am a Nike athlete. Nike wants to work with me. Nike loves all my ideas. I would write it down over and over and over, and I would write down, I want to be in a commercial with LeBron James and Serena Williams. Plant a seed. I'd pull out my Quantum Possibilities notebook, and I would believe bigger. Plant a seed. And I would believe bigger. I had this crazy dream, and I would write down in my notebook, and I would do it over and over and over every single day. I would wake up, I would wake up, I would wake up, I would wake up, and I would do it over and over and over every single day. I would wake up, I would wake up, I would wake up, I would wake up, and I would do it over and over and over, over and over and over, over and over and over. Believe in it so much. Over and over and over, over and over and over, over and over and over. Believe in it so much. What if I ever said, follow your mind? Weird. Follow your brain. Really weird. Follow your head. Awkward. Follow your heart. The heart knows what's best. I want to be able to get the brain to trust the heart. When those two things can start working together, then the brain can start figuring out the tactical things. The brain will figure out the law of action, while the heart is going to figure out the law of attraction. You with me? What if I ever said, follow your mind? Weird. Follow your brain. Really weird. Follow your head. Awkward. Follow your heart. The heart knows what's best. Our heart knows. Our heart has a signal. Our heart puts off an electromagnetic field that reaches at least 4 times further than our head. So instinctively, we always say, follow your heart. Now follow your kidney. Now follow your, quadricep. What if I ever said, follow your mind? Weird. Follow your brain. Really weird. Follow your head. Awkward. Follow your heart. The heart knows what's best. Now we do most of our learning from our head, but our heart has intelligence just like our head does. For example, our heart has memory as well. They've had heart transplants for humans where they took one person's heart, put it in another, and that human that got the heart all of a sudden crave certain food, have certain dreams that they've never had before. Well, why? Because that heart stores so much intelligence. So instinctively, we always say, follow your heart. Now there's gonna be people who roll their eyes at me, and that's fine.
Lido Beats.
But I love this law of attraction. I love this quantum energy. I love all of it.
We are getting weird today.
And boom, right there, perfect quantum moment. 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 And boom, boom, and boom, and boom, boom, and boom, and boom, 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 and boom, right there, perfect quantum moment. Crazy thing. Boom, 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 and boom, right there, perfect quantum moment. I study quantum physics. I don't think any of this is by accident. I understand the root of how things work. If everything is energy, then that means we're all connected. And the law of attraction is explained by quantum physics and how in between us. And boom, right there, perfect quantum moment. 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 And boom, boom, and boom, and boom, boom, and boom, and boom, 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 right there, perfect quantum moment. And 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 boom, boom, and boom, and boom, boom, and boom, and boom, 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 right there, perfect quantum moment. I definitely think, quantum and things are played out and we're connected and things have already been